Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Tuesday, the 7th of October 2025. The year BSV comes alive. Branch your threads, expand your mind with treechat.ai or your post-bot on chain. Right, let's see what we've got today. We've got to go over this because it looks like a Bitcoin core might cause a split in the chain with Bitcoin knots. So we'll just have a quick chat about that, see what's going on. We've got this article by Decrypt on it here saying the debate rages over Bitcoin's future. But again, it's Gregcoin, we know that. Matthew Crater is doing this Bitcoin University. He's weighing in on it as well. People saying that the date is going to be October the 10th. Oof, what a coincidence. Apparently, this guy Michael Ford confirmed that, but I can't see that on his profile. But again, you know, we know what's happening on October 10th now. Oh, yeah. We're just going to cross-reference the coincidences like we've done before. We've got this article from you today saying this is like 1 billion XRP vanishes from Ripple Escrow. What's going on? Oh dear, oh dear. Again, I suspect they're going to dump it because we know what's coming. Oh yeah. Check this out. This was a phenomenal post here about this pattern of all-time highs and all-time lows. Predicted the all-time high of October 6th, and it actually happened. It actually happened. This was posted on October 5th. Like, what is going on? We will then have a quick look at the figures, as we usually do. We've got some 365 days of Bitcoin history. What a day yesterday was, and today. Yeah, we'll have a look at some of the articles. That was the 7th of October, the ultimate history of Bitcoin. It's pretty good, actually. We'll just go through it. I've got some of my stuff from there. And then we'll finish with a calendar countdown. Right, let's get into it.
Craig says he's Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, and transactions flying free. He's acclaiming his legacy, you'll surely see.
Alrighty, here we go. Let's look at this one. So this was my response to Kurt. And Kurt said here, when Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Knots split, BTC, which fork will be more valuable? Measured with a fiat measuring stick, of course, because small blockers only use fiat value as a North Star. So my response to that was, whichever one claims the BTC market ticker. The cabal will ensure it's their chain, unless strategically they want to distance and disassociate themselves from it in order to avoid the blame for its eventual collapse, and the $2 trillion market cap disappears just like the World Trade Centers on 9/11. Because we know who did that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and where that market ticker symbol will go, because either way the cabal are going to be in complete control of it if it goes on their chain or if it doesn't go on their chain. Yeah, who knows, but it's going to get juicy, so we need to keep an eye on that. And talking about keeping an eye on that, Decrypt here says here the debate raging over Bitcoin's future. Again, they're referring to Gregcoin BTC. They said a major change for a Gregcoin is coming, reigniting disputes over whether it should remain strictly immutable or adapt to new pressures. A convenient way of saying, are we going to open up the scaling debate again? Because we've already had it 3 times, and now we're going to have it a 4th time. When are they going to admit that they're both wrong? I wonder. So they said here, in brief, core version 30, what a joke, raises the op return limit, so the operations return limit, letting transactions carry far larger amounts of non-payment like messages, proofs or files. Critics say the change risks abuse and legal exposure, while supporters argue it provides a cleaner, safer way to handle data. No shit, Sherlock. Figures include Adam Back and Jameson Lopp have flagged the idea spans ideology, legal questions and developer politics. And again, it was this lot, Adam Back, Jameson Lopp and everyone else, that said it shouldn't scale. Now they're saying it should. Talk about flip-flopping. Absolutely ridiculous. So Gregcoin is heading into a pivotal moment as its core version 30 update prepares to roll out in October. So again, we've now learned that that is October 10th. But its arrival has reopened a long-running dispute over how the network should operate and respond to new pressures. New pressures, like just this lot changing their mind is what the new pressures are. Core version 30 is the upcoming October 2025 release of Bitcoin Core, the network's reference software client. It introduces a highly contested change, raising the operation return limit so transactions can carry much larger amounts of non-payment data, such as messages, proofs, or files that nodes will relay and accept. Operation return is the feature that makes this possible, allowing extra data to be attached to a transaction without affecting spendable coins. Oh, see, this is exactly what they were literally crying over last time when we went through the scaling wars, and now they're just like, actually, yeah, I think this actually, we should have done that. And then everybody that they've sold on their bullshit narrative about how it shouldn't be used for that, they're now going up against. This is absolutely hilarious. You couldn't make it up. It's almost like it's scripted. We knew it was going to happen. Supporters of op return expansion argue that it provides individuals with a cleaner, safer means of attaching extra data to Bitcoin without clogging up the system, as it remains provably unspendable. Critics argue that it opens the door to abuse. Again, they're going to say this is spamming and uploading images, ranging from spam to illegal content, and risks pushing Gregcoin away from its core purpose as a medium of exchange. What the medium of exchange? They say it's digital gold, not many use it. That's not a medium of exchange. Towards a general data storage network. Oh, look at that. A general data storage network. I wonder which one can scale to absorb the entire internet. The debate had been around since 2010, according to Bitcoin Talk forum discussions documented by BitMEX Research. Some, like Luke Dash Jr., have advocated for stricter relay rules, calling non-financial data spam and pushing to filter and minimize what he sees as misuse of block space. What a load of crap. Dash Jr. is the lead maintainer of Bitcoin Knots, a fork of Bitcoin Core. See, now they're calling Bitcoin Knots a fork of Bitcoin Core, when the Bitcoin Knots are actually just saying it's just a continuation of Core in its purest form. That offers an alternative implementation to the same rules with added features and stricter policy defaults. Others include Blockstream CEO Adam Back warned that introducing moderation or selective filtering sets a dangerous precedent, arguing that it could leave Bitcoin vulnerable to censorship and threaten its survival. In May, allegations surfaced that the increase in the op return limits is motivated by specific projects that stand to benefit from the changes, with at least one leaked email pointing to Jameson Lopp, oh funny that, Chief Security Officer of Bitcoin custody firm Casa. Lopp denied the allegations, funnily enough. That same month, Decrypt has approached Lopp for comment. Something old, something new. Since bad transactions and bad arbitrary data have been hosted by Bitcoin, or as Gregcoin, for over a decade now, I see few new questions here, moral or otherwise. Andrew M. Bailey, Professor of Philosophy at National University of Singapore and Senior Fellow at Gregcoin Policy Institute, told Decrypt, head of Token 2049 in Singapore. Still, the most interesting legal issue the debate has produced are undetermined by extant case or statutory law, Bailey said, pointing to whether legal protections like Section 230 would shield node operators from liability of hosting harmful data. This is why there needs to be a chain of digital signatures, and they haven't got it yet. Oh dear. The changes in Bitcoin Core's upcoming date also raise questions on whether there is a difference in legal liability for data stored in signatures or other witness items, addresses, multiple op return outputs, or single op return outputs, Bailey said. Well, so let's go on about this just quickly. They said the single most interesting legal issues the debate has produced are undetermined by extant case statutory law, Bailey said, pointing to whether legal protections like Section 230 would shield node operators from liability from hosting harmful data. So BSV, the genuine Bitcoin and the original protocol, is the only one that has a double hash function to prevent this, because data on the chain can't actually be deleted. However, the miners can come to consensus and they can hash that data so that nobody can see it. And genuine Bitcoin is the only network that has that, because they knew that, this lot removed that because they were just like, oh, it's never going to happen, never going to use it for data on chain, and this shows centralization. Well, no, this is consensus. This is those competing elements, those competing operations, actually agree that this is not good for the network, so they can come to consensus. That's the whole point of a consensus mechanism, and proof of work is the only one that can do that. Asked about core version 30 immediate impact, Bailey said the relay policies that performed node runners implement will have next to no effect which transactions are included in blocks and which arbitrary data is smuggled within them. Pseudonymous developer Leodius, creator of Bitcoin native meme coin Dog, told Decrypt that the Bitcoin Knots community wants to censor ordinals and runes transactions from the Bitcoin network. He accused Dash Jr. of a recent reframing of the conversation around, oh, there we go, there it is, CP or child sexual abuse material on the Bitcoin network in an effort to manufacture a moral panic and smear anyone who stands in their way. This is what's going to happen. This is why you need a consensus mechanism and a double hash function. Only on the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin that now has the ticker symbol BSV. This lot are going to find themselves in trouble because they are running a shitcoin network that won't allow to get rid of material like that. They are going to be on the hook for it. All the miners who have that on their database, on their operations, they're all on the hook for it. All of them. But I mean, again, you know, we know how corrupt the world is these days. But get your popcorn ready, folks. It's going to be entertaining, to say the least. And this was Matthew Cratter, who's been crying about this Knots versus Core Bitcoin. Literally sort of coming up with all sorts of means, retweeting this, saying Core's op return limit change and handling of their change. Implying that it's they're not implying that they shouldn't really be increasing the block size. Oh my goodness me. So anyway, that's Matthew Cratter responding, saying, "Oh yeah, they're gonna destroy Bitcoin and blah 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 blah." Again, because he's one of these well, ironically, massive small blockers that's been completely indoctrinated by the narrative that was initially produced by Adam Back and Blockstream. So they're literally going up against themselves. Now they're saying, "Oh, they've gone rogue. They've done this. They're going to destroy Bitcoin." Blah 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 blah. I honestly, I've got utter contempt for this guy anyway. You know, went along with their narrative that destroyed Bitcoin to start with. So karma coming back at you. This is what he said on his recent post about this guy Schmidty, BitSchmidty, who said, when Bitcoin Core version 30. He said, I see some folks expecting version 30 to be released today. So that was posted 3rd of October. He said, not a bad assumption since October 3rd was the target date for tagging on the release schedule initially. The current target release date is now October 10th, updated yesterday by this guy Fanquake. Bitcoin Core version 30 release candidate 2 is available, and it is expected there will also be a 3rd release candidate. The target dates for release are not set in stone, and it isn't common for the actual release date to differ from that goal. For example, a Bitcoin 29.0 had April 3rd for tagging, and the final release date was announced on Twitter on April 15th. It's also notable that the date in the release schedule for the tagging isn't the release date as per the release process. There are additional processes to create the final binaries for distribution. Here we go. So more version 30 release schedule. Let's have a quick look at that then. But he said... so I can't find anything on this Fanquake profile about the release date being October the 10th. I'm not saying it isn't. I just haven't been able to find it or confirm it. So I did look on Fanquake's profile here. Couldn't find anything about release date being October 10th. Like I said, doesn't mean it isn't going to happen then. But you know, it just seems very coincidental, you know, that there's a lot happening on October 10th, including this bad boy. Let's just one more. Let's just read this one more time. Not all of it, just this first paragraph. This legal notice is posted pursuant to and in compliance with applicable law, which is intended to provide an opportunity for the owner to claim property otherwise qualifying as lost or abandoned. The owner is provided with 90 days, and this was released on July the 4th. 90 days to respond to this notice. In other words, an owner with a valid proof of ownership must respond before October 10th, 2025. If no response is received, the digital wallets and their contents will be considered to be confirmed as abandoned. In sum, the lack of a response may be provided to a court as evidence of the relinquishment of all rights, title and interest in the digital wallets. This is an important legal notice, and rights could be adversely impacted if the bona fide owner of this digital wallet does not respond. Oh, October 10th. It is indeed. And let's see what else happened on October the 10th. Oh, well, we'll get to this bit actually on the day itself. But, also, I think it might coincide with this. October 10th, 2024, Craig Wright filed a £911,000 million claim in the UK High Court Chancery Division against BT Core Partnership and Square. And again, they tried to do him for contempt of court. Absolutely outrageous. Tried to do him on contempt of court and then offered him a fine of £145,000, just above the 144,000 of those sealed by God for protection. We'll see what's going on. I mean, I'm salivating already just thinking about how juicy everything's going to get. Let's get on to some general bit of news then. So you today said here, 1 billion XRP vanishes from Ripple escrow. What's happening? So let's have a read through this then. The crypto market, shitcoin market, has witnessed another unlocking of XRP's tokens from Ripple's escrow account on Thursday, October 2nd, as the much anticipated Uptober season kicks off to a bullish start. So again, they're either going to flood that onto the market or they're going to dump it. I expect they're going to dump it. According to data from blockchain tracking platform Whale Alert, a total of 1 billion XRP tokens were unlocked from escrow in less than an hour. The unlocked tokens are valued at approximately $3 billion based on XRP's trading price at the time of the event. Notably, the release occurred in 4 separate transactions, 2 batches of 400 million XRP each and 2 batches of 100 million XRP each, summing up to a total of 1 billion XRP. No shit. While the move comes to as no surprise, it marks the fulfillment of Ripple's scheduled monthly release of XRP, typically on the 1st of every month. And again, if this is what they're doing, they're dumping on unsuspecting customers. It's literally the biggest scam ever. It's so blatantly obvious. But this is what they do. And Ripple's scheduled monthly release of XRP, they just sell it for $1. That's all they do, line their own pockets with it. Literally, XRP does absolutely nothing. And it can't do anything because it's completely centralized. All the stories that you hear, backed by the banks, cross-border remittance, absolute bullshit. Utter bullshit. So anyway. However, this month's unlocking carried a slight twist as it was delayed until the second day. What's Ripple up to? The move has sparked discussions within the XRP community, which is mainly made up of bots and bullshit, with speculations about its impact on XRP's ongoing price movement. It is important to note that the San Francisco-based blockchain company has committed to the escrow system as a way of control XRP's circulation and mitigating oversupply, which could otherwise threaten the token's value, as in what they don't want the token to be volatile in value. It's literally meant to be an unstable stablecoin. So what they do is if the price goes up, they release or they flood the market with the supply to bring the price back down again. Honestly, it's such a joke. Although Ripple consistently unlocks up to 1 billion XRP each month, often returning a portion back to escrow after limited sales, they're telling you they're selling it. It's hilarious. This month's unlock has drawn more attention given the hype surrounding October. Coinciding with XRP's strong momentum, bullshit, the timing has fueled optimism. The token recently broke above the $3 resistance level, with market watchers suggesting that the unlock could further propel its price upwards. No, the unlock is going to propel its price further downwards. That's the whole point of it. According to data from CoinMarketCap, XRP has surged 3.98% in the past 24 hours and is trading at approximately $3.04 as of press time. Although increased supply can sometimes trigger short-term corrections by reducing scarcity, analysts argue that this month's move could instead provide the liquidity required for institutional adoption. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Thereby supporting further upside momentum. With decisions on the XRP ETF now entering their final stages, investors remain confident in XRP's potential throughout October. Potential to what? Number go up? Because it doesn't do F all, literally. Right, let's have a look here then. Check this out. I had to respond to this because this guy, Jampsy, said here, if this plays out, we live in a simulation and this person needs to be found. So this is anonymous. They've just got an ID here. I'm assuming this is on Reddit or something. So I went through this the other day. Yeah, all-time high 2015 to all-time low 2015 to all-time high 2017, 1,064 days. All-time high 2017 to all-time low 2018, 364 days. All-time low 2018 to all-time high 2021, 1,064 days. And then all-time high to 2021 to all-time low 2022, 364 days. This pattern would print this cycle's all-time high on October 6th, 2025. And that's exactly what happened. Like, how absolutely insane is that? But again, it just goes to show you the cycle's being managed. Because the cabal regulate it, they have to keep track of what they're doing. So in order to keep track of what they're doing, they plan it out beforehand. So literally everything is planned. That's why it's happening. Yeah, we'll have a look at the price in just a minute. But anyway, let's have a look at these figures. So we've got Greg coin, 124,000, but Bitcoin just $28, 27.96 top left. Transactions 40.69 of the forks, but block size 89.44, so 90%. Oh, some nice blocks here coming through. 59, 26, 107, 38, 43, 24, 91, 35. Oh, some nice big blocks starting to emerge there. 48,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Greg coin. Oh, mining Bitcoin at a 1.1% comparable profits. Loving that. Let's have a look at the politics in the pie charts because that's where it is. Global hash rate 7 days, 24 hours. Greg coin hash rate other minus 4.86. B crash other minus 13.89. Fisher price cash other minus 56.2. And again, CoinDart's not reporting the official mining figures for Bitcoin. Let's have a look at this though. So 24-hour transaction volume, down into 4th place. However, literally 4th in the utility charts, and yet ranked down in 100 in market cap. Like, how absolutely insane is that? Talking about the market cap, so we're $4.2 trillion now. Whoa, $4.2 trillion. And let's have a look at this all-time high, $125,000, and that was yesterday on the 6th of October. The 6th of October, just as predicted. Like, absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. There we go. Look, the all-time high. 6th of October. They plan and plot absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. Let's have a look at the 24-hour trade volume. Just 2.9. Again, I mean, literally nothing. All you need is 2.9% of the market to change its mind, and it is gone. $2.4 trillion up in smoke. Literally up in smoke. Right, well, let's have a look at the rest of the market then. So Ethereum going up $4,700. Binance token, again, look at that, absolutely ridiculous. They're pumping that with their own USD coin. So Binance token, oh look, Binance token 1,320. I remember looking at that when it was like $2. $2. And it's now above XRP. So Binance token, the exchange token, is literally 3rd in coin market cap. That is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. XRP 4th. So Binance coin is now above USDT, which is literally printing its own market cap. Oh dear, oh dear. Solana, USD, honestly. Cardano, jeepers. Utter shit. Utter shit. But there we go. Look, genuine Bitcoin down here, just like $28. $28. 24-hour trade volume 3.3%, just 18 million. So divide that in half to find out how many was for sale. So $9 million could scoop up every single coin that's available for sale on the market. Just 9 million. That is it. 9 million, let alone 9 billion. Let's have a look at trade volume then. So again, they're saying Coin DCX. I suspect that's a scam exchange. They're literally just wash trading, helping to artificially suppress the price. Huobi in second, and then Hybit and MEXC in fourth. Interesting. Yeah, all right. Let's have a look at some 365 days of Bitcoin history. So on the 6th of October 2014, Peter Rizzo said here, the most notorious Bitcoin bear in history abruptly sold 30,000 BTC. Bulls answered the call, holding the price at $300. God, a Bitcoin bear sold 30,000 BTC. 30,000. Jeepers. That's huge. I wonder if that is worth having a look at. Just see what happens here. Let's have a look. Is that post still there? Oh, yeah, exactly 10 years ago today, the most notorious Bitcoin bear in history abruptly sold 30,000 BTC. Bulls answered the call, holding the price at 300. All right, yeah, so he's just got... Let's have a look at this. Do we see anything? Should see a sea of red there. Alright. So someone sold 30,000 BTC. And again, this is what all the shitcoiners think that Satoshi Nakamoto is going to do. Because remember, store of value, digital dog shit, not many use it. What a joke. And talking about being a joke, Samson Mao, who was the chief strategy officer at Blockstream on the 6th of October 2016, said this. He said, Bitcoin, as in Gregcoin, isn't for people that live on less than $2 a day. You're imagining someone with your knowledge and background that is poor. And that was in response to Rick Fogvenia. Dear, oh dear, look at that, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is for everybody. Again, they're talking about pricing people out, cutting people out. It's not for the poor. And remember, as they say, if it's inaccessible to the poor, it's neither radical nor revolutionary, you know, again. And this is what Bitcoin is meant to be. It's for everybody. Micro payments. But he's saying it's not. Again, shows that he's nefarious. We're now 7th of October. Check this out. 7th of October 1940. In 1944, the McCollum Memo was classified on October 7th, 1940. Lieutenant Commander Arthur McCollum submitted an 8-step plan to provoke Japan into attacking the US. So this was the double cross on Hitler. President Roosevelt, throughout 1941, implemented all 8 recommendations. Following the 8th provocation, Japan attacked and America entered World War II. And again, you know, Japan was on the side of Hitler, and Hitler was being funded by the US corporations. So again, the whole thing was just one massive psyop. Absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. So the Americans were funding Hitler, then they had to bring Japan in the war to effectively double-cross Hitler, to then bring themselves into the war to then fight Hitler. That's what went on. Absolutely outrageous. And on 7th of October 2019, Zenesis published the Ultimate History of Bitcoin, which we've got here. Check it out. It's actually pretty good. Look, the Ultimate History of Bitcoin. I doubt it's as good as mine, because mine has got all of this information and more now. Look. Bitcoin timeline, August 15th. An application for an encryption patent is filed by Neil Kin, Vladimir Ockman, and Charles Bray. They deny any connection with Nakamoto. Got 2009, 2010, Bitcoin Pizza Day, May 2020, May 22. They've got a Mt. Gox incident in there. WikiLeaks using it. It's at Coinbase. Bitcoin Black Friday. They've got 2016. They've got 2017 fork. Bitcoin Cash. But then they failed to mention anything about where the genuine Bitcoin protocol went after that, which was onto BSV. Right, here we go. So we're now this 7th of October. We're 9 days past the end of the Kellenschweller countdown. Is it going to finish on Friday, 10th of October? Who knows? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. But one thing you can be sure of is that there's going to be plenty of shenanigans between now and then. So hit like, press the subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss anything. It's going to be absolutely epic. So until then, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
The king still has one more move.